I did a video on Facebook a couple of days ago. I thought it was time to go ahead and do the YouTube version. I want to talk about the phrase too expensive. Maybe you are meeting with a client and they give you a scope of work as to what's going to be involved with the event they want to hire you to do. And you do the math based on your business plan and give them a quote, and they look at you and they say, "Oh, that's too expensive." That's a lie, and let me explain. Saying that something is too expensive puts the blame on you. It's not their fault they can't hire you, it's your fault because you're too expensive. When the reality of it is, they just either can't afford you, have it budgeted for you, or are unwilling to pay what you're asking. That's a them problem, not a you problem. Alright, see, I would love to buy a brand new Cadillac Escalade for $10,000, but I can't do that because Cadillac can't produce an Escalade for $10,000, and they're not willing to take a $70,000 loss on one for me to have one for $10,000. So I can't have one. That is not Cadillac's fault. That's my fault. That doesn't make an Escalade too expensive. It just means I can't afford it, or I'm unwilling to pay that kind of money for it. You get what I'm saying here? Now, some of you may say, look, you're nitpicking. This is just language. It means the same thing. Yeah, maybe, but see, here's the problem. If you start taking this literally into heart, and every time you hear somebody say, "Oh, you're too expensive," you start to think to yourself, wow, maybe I am too expensive. I should lower my prices. Well, where do you start there? Your salary's going to get cut. If you have a piece of equipment that fails on you, you may go out and either buy a substandard piece of equipment to replace it, or think to yourself, you know what, I'm just going to try to get by with the broken thing. So your quality is going to suffer overall, and you're not going to be as happy because A, you're going to feel like you're worth less, and B, your product suffered. C, you're not making the money anymore. So yeah, every time you hear the words too expensive, put that in your brain and filter it as I can't afford it, which is completely legitimate. If somebody can't afford something, they can't afford something. I didn't budget for this, in which case you have a conversation with them, explain to them how much things cost and what you can provide, and build some value in your services. Or, I'm not willing to pay that much, in which case, shake hands and part friends. They weren't your client anyway. And DJ, you are not off the hook here. Stop saying that equipment is too expensive when the reality is you either can't afford it or are unwilling to pay the price. Now, either way, that's totally cool, but don't blame the speaker for your inability to buy it. And if you really want it, build that price into your business plan and you'll be able to afford it quite easily. It's not that hard. If you want to know how to do it, ask. I'll help you. That's it. I may do more videos on this later. Practice and enjoy.